In the shadow of biblical mountains, where Europe meets Asia and ancient whispers still echo through stone corridors, lies a land that time forgot to abandon. This is Armenia, a nation older than Rome, more mysterious than myth, and more resilient than the mountains that cradle it. For 8 millennia, these highlands have harbored secrets. Stories carved in volcanic rock, traditions passed through generations like sacred flames, and mysteries that would make archaeologists weep with wonder. Today, we unlock the vault of Armenia's hidden treasures. Prepare to witness wonders that will challenge everything you thought you knew about ancient civilization. Armenia sits like a jewel in the crown of the Caucasus, a crossroads where civilizations collided, cultures melded, and empires rose and fell like waves against eternal shores. But this is no ordinary crossroads, this is where humanity first learned to dream in stone. Compressed into just 30,000 square kilometers, smaller than Switzerland, Armenia contains multitudes. From the wine cellars of Ararat, where 6,000-year-old vintages still rest in clay amphora, to the space-age solar telescope at Burykan Observatory, this nation bridges millennia with breathtaking audacity. But Armenia's true wonder isn't measured in square kilometers, it's measured in stories per stone, legends per mountain peak, and miracles per monastery wall. Before Stonehenge cast its first shadow, before the pyramids pierced the Egyptian sky, ancient Armenians were already reading the cosmos in stone. Welcome to Carahunge, Zorat's Kara in Armenian, a 7,500-year-old astronomical observatory that predates its British cousin by 3,000 years. These 223 basalt monoliths, each weighing up to 10 tons, aren't randomly placed. The holes carved through their hearts align with ancient star patterns, creating windows to the universe that still frame constellations with mathematical precision. Soviet astronomer Elmer Parsamian discovered that 17 stones perfectly track the movement of Deneb, the brightest star in Cygnus. But Carahunge guards deeper secrets. Recent excavations revealed obsidian tools so sharp they rival modern surgical instruments, and pottery fragments that suggest our ancestors weren't just stargazers, they were sophisticated engineers. In 782 BCE, King Argishti I of Urartu commanded his architects, "Build me a city that will outlast the mountains themselves." They called it Erebuni, and you know it today as Yerevan, one of the world's oldest continuously inhabited cities. Erebuni wasn't just a fortress, it was a statement written in stone. Its walls contained the first known urban water system in the region, with clay pipes that supplied fresh mountain water to every corner of the citadel. The royal wine cellars could store 40,000 liters of wine, suggesting either legendary hospitality or legendary thirst. The cuneiform archives discovered here read like ancient newspapers, trade agreements with Babylon, diplomatic correspondence with Assyrian kings, even weather reports from 2,800 years ago. One tablet records a solar eclipse so precisely that modern astronomers used it to refine their calculations of ancient celestial events. But perhaps Armenia's greatest ancient mystery lies beneath the azure waters of Lake Sevan. This blue pearl of Armenia sits 1,900 meters above sea level, making it one of the highest large freshwater lakes on Earth. Medieval chroniclers wrote of cities that vanished beneath its waves during catastrophic floods. In 2010, marine archaeologists made a startling discovery: Bronze Age settlements perfectly preserved in the lake's cold, oxygen-poor depths. Stone foundations, pottery kilns, even wooden tools emerged from their 3,000-year slumber, providing a snapshot of daily life frozen in time. In the scriptorium of Matenadran, the world's largest repository of medieval manuscripts, lies humanity's most beautiful love letter to language. Here, among 23,000 ancient texts, rests the secret of Armenia's survival, the invention of an alphabet so perfect, it hasn't changed for 1,600 years. In 405 CE, when most of the world remained illiterate, the monk Mesrop Mashtots performed an act of genius that would echo through millennia. Commissioned by King Vramshapu to create an Armenian alphabet, Mashtots didn't simply adapt existing scripts, he revolutionized the very concept of written language. His 36 letters weren't arranged randomly. Each character represents a specific sound with mathematical precision, creating a phonetic system so sophisticated that children could learn to read in weeks rather than years. But Mashtots embedded deeper magic. The numerical values of the letters, when arranged properly, reveal hidden geometric patterns that mirror the structure of Armenian sacred architecture. This mastery of sacred geometry reaches its pinnacle at Geghard Monastery, where 13th-century architects achieved the impossible. They turned solid rock into celestial music. The monastery's name means spear, for this is where the Roman centurion's lance that pierced Christ's side was allegedly kept. But Geghard's true miracle isn't theological, it's acoustic. Master builder Goldzak carved the prayer chambers from living bedrock with such precision that whispered prayers amplify into ethereal choruses. The mathematical ratios governing these spaces create natural harmonics that transform human voices into what visitors describe as the singing of angels. The monastery's kachkars, cross stones, represent the pinnacle of medieval stone carving. Each one is unique, yet follows strict symbolic principles passed down through generations of master craftsmen. The most famous, carved by Momik in 1291, contains over 1,000 different decorative elements, each carrying layers of Christian and pre-Christian symbolism. At Echmyadzin Cathedral, the Vatican of the Armenian Apostolic Church, we encounter another world first. Armenia became the first nation to officially adopt Christianity as its state religion in 301 CE, 12 years before Constantine's Edict of Milan legalized Christianity in Rome. King Tiridates III's conversion wasn't just political, it was revolutionary. The cathedral built on this site has been continuously active for over 1,700 years, making it humanity's oldest functioning Christian cathedral. Its treasures include fragments of Noah's Ark, the right hand of Saint Gregory the Illuminator, and a piece of the True Cross. Rising 5,165 meters into the Armenian sky, Mount Ararat stands as more than a mountain. It's a symbol carved from fire and ice, mythology and geology. This dormant volcano, visible from Yerevan on clear days, has captured human imagination for millennia. Geological surveys reveal Ararat's hidden violence. This peaceful giant has erupted at least 4 times in recorded history, most recently in 1840. The eruption was so massive it was observed from 160 kilometers away and created the unique microclimate that makes Armenia's Ararat plain so fertile. But Ararat's greatest mystery remains tantalizingly out of reach. Despite dozens of expeditions, including one by astronaut James Irwin, the legendary resting place of Noah's Ark continues to elude discovery. Armenian folklore insists the fragments are there, protected by angels who allow only the pure of heart to approach. Armenia sits on one of Earth's most geologically active regions, where the Anatolian plate grinds against the Eurasian plate with tremendous force. This tectonic drama creates wonders found nowhere else on Earth. At Jermuk, therapeutic hot springs have bubbled from the Earth for over 2,000 years. The mineral-rich waters contain a precise cocktail of 40 different elements, creating natural pharmaceuticals that medieval chroniclers claimed could cure everything from arthritis to broken hearts. Modern analysis confirms these waters do possess remarkable healing properties. Their unique mineral composition can't be replicated artificially. In Diligen National Park, often called Armenia's Switzerland, ancient forests harbor ecosystems unchanged since the last ice age. These woods shelter over 40 species of mammals, including the endangered Caucasian leopard, so elusive that shepherds call them ghosts of the mountains. The park's botanical diversity reads like a living encyclopedia. 900 plant species include 40 found nowhere else on Earth. The endemic diligent oak produces acorns so nutritious that Bronze Age settlements clustered around these groves specifically to harvest them. In the workshops of Gyumri, master craftsmen still practice arts that predate the Roman Empire. Their hands move with muscle memory inherited from 200 generations, creating beauty through techniques known only to their bloodlines. The carpet weavers of Karabakh work from patterns stored not on paper, but in an oral tradition so complex it takes 20 years to master. Each knot tied follows mathematical principles discovered by medieval Armenian scholars, principles that create optical illusions making flat carpets appear three-dimensional. In village bakeries across Armenia, women gather each dawn to perform humanity's oldest continuous ritual, the making of lavash bread. This tissue-thin flatbread, baked in underground Tonia ovens, requires such skill that UNESCO declared it a masterpiece of intangible heritage. The technique hasn't changed for 1,000 years. The dough must be rolled to exactly 2 mm thickness, stretched by 4 women simultaneously, then slapped against oven walls heated to precisely 800 degrees Celsius. The timing is so critical that master bakers can judge doneness by sound alone. The soft whisper of perfectly cooked lavash has its own distinct frequency. The haunting sound of the duduk, Armenia's national instrument, emerges from apricot wood aged for decades in highland caves. Master craftsman Jivan Gasparian spent 60 years perfecting his technique, discovering that each tree's wood produces a unique timbre based on the mineral content of the soil where it grew. The duduk's double reed creates harmonics so complex that scientists studying its acoustics discovered new principles of resonance. Its sound can carry emotional frequencies that bypass conscious thought, explaining why duduk melodies can move listeners to tears even when they don't understand the cultural context. Armenian folk dances preserve not just entertainment, but encoded history. The kohari, performed in an unbroken chain of dancers, represents the eternal cycle of seasons. The yakushta simulates ancient battle formations with such accuracy that military historians use dance recordings to study medieval Armenian warfare tactics. Each costume element carries meaning. The number of coins on a dancer's headdress indicates her family's prosperity, while specific embroidery patterns mark regional origins with GPS-like precision. Grandmothers can identify a dancer's village, family lineage, and social status from costume details alone. As shadows lengthen across the pink stone buildings of Yerevan, the Pink City, we realize that Armenia's greatest wonder isn't carved in stone or written in manuscripts. It lives in the eyes of its people. This is a nation that has survived 20 centuries of invasions, occupations, and tragedies that would have erased lesser peoples. Yet walk through Yerevan's Republic Square on any evening, and you'll hear children laughing in the same language Mesrop Mashtots codified 1,600 years ago. Today's Armenia bridges ancient and ultra-modern with startling grace. In Yerevan's tech hub, programmers write code for Silicon Valley giants between breaks when they visit their grandmothers for traditional tolma. This isn't contradiction, it's continuity. For 8,000 years, these mountains have witnessed the rise and fall of empires. Persians, Romans, Byzantines, Ottomans, Soviets, all came and went like seasons. But Armenia endures. Not because its people are stubborn, but because they understand something the empires forgot. True power lies not in conquering land, but in conquering time. In Armenia, yesterday isn't history, it's family. Tomorrow isn't future, it's inheritance. And today? Today is when ancient secrets reveal themselves to those wise enough to listen. Some wonders can be measured in meters or years. But the wonder of Armenia can only be measured in the currency that matters most, the unbreakable human spirit. 8,000 years of secrets, and the story has only just begun.